Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be talking about sculpting and modeling. So I recently just finished this piece right here. It's available on my Gumroad, so you can download it there. It will probably be around $4. It's a fair price. So let's take a look at how I made this. So I started off with a bunch of cubes and just got the rough shape in. This is an approach I just decided to do. My idea was to make a rough block out of my object I wanted to make, of my model, and then just remesh this and then sculpt over it. So that's exactly what I did. I just made these cubes and just placed them everywhere, and then I joined them together and I remeshed them and I sculpted over them. So you're just going to be looking at that. If there's anything I want to talk about, I'll speak over this video, but for now just enjoy the sculpting. So one problem I had with the clay strips which I used, which is one of my favorite brushes in the sculpting tab, is that if the geometry is too thin, then the brush doesn't really work well. If you try to put a clay strip somewhere, it will kind of like bring the underside all the way up, so it like pinches it, which is not ideal. I don't know how to fix this. If you have a fix for this, please leave it in the comments. Did some research on the internet, but I couldn't find any fix for it. A lot of people have had the same issue. The idea I was going for was like an eroded kind of like arch in the middle of the desert. I still don't know what it's called, but it looked cool to me. I really liked all the streaks. It looking really flowy. So that was my idea, and I think it worked really well. So sometimes you can see those streaks, really big streaks of geometry. And that's a perfect example of the clay strips messing up because they're too thin of geometry. I had that issue a couple times, mostly at the top, like the thin beams. At the bottom it was really big, so I didn't really have that issue. It was also it's also worth noting that this is one of my first sculpts ever. I don't really sculpt that much. I like doing it, but I don't really have the experience for it yet. So right now what you're seeing is me fixing those holes. It was really annoying and tedious. I really want a fix for it. So if Planner can please just make a version that has better clay strips, I would be very happy. Yeah, right here as well. There's a lot of holes, so I tried to fill them in with like the normal brush and then smoothing it out. Didn't really work all the time, but I got there in the end. And again, if you want this model, it will be available on my Gumroad. You will be really supporting me if you buy this, and I think this looks really cool. It's also on my CG Trader, so maybe if there are any sales, you can take a look there and get it for cheaper.
You.
If you like sculpts like these, please leave a like and subscribe so I know I can make more of them, and you will really enjoy that. Next time I'll try to make something one of you wants. Comment down below what you want and I'll sculpt it. I really like practicing sculpting. It's a really good skill to have in 3D modeling, of course. So yeah, if you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments down below. So now we're finished, and I'm just going to remesh another one of the copy and just make it a little bit less high poly. So what my idea was for that is to essentially just take the normal data of the high resolution model and apply that to the low resolution model. I have a video about this. It's called something like cut down your render times with this easy trick, something like that. I'll leave it on screen now so you can watch that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right here. I'm making a normal and then using the high poly model as a copy selected to active, like bake it, and then once it's done it should have all the normals in a normal map. Right here I'm making a procedural texture, which turned out pretty great actually. I might make a video about procedural textures later, how you can make everything you want. So yeah, that's the texture. Look really cool. And now I'm just making everything ready for the model, which you can download. And here I added some sand dunes, and this will also be available if you buy the model. You will get this sand plane. It's like a quixel type thing, just a piece of ground. I added some dust particles because deserts are really dusty with sand, of course. I tried to make it a little bit less dense in some areas, didn't really work. I also didn't make a daylight scene, although I really like the daylight scene. I might render it out separately. So yeah, this is the dark scene at night with the stylized lights coming from the back. I really like those lightings. And I'm just finishing up the render. I really like the sand dust we had here. And this is the final render. And a turntable of the mesh will come up soon, right here. It looks really cool. I think I did a pretty good job with this. Please leave a comment with what you think I could improve next time, and if you liked it or didn't like it. So please subscribe and buy my models. Goodbye.